A grandfather is talking to his grandson. In their conversation, he says to his grandson, "My boy, within each of us, there are two wolves fighting. One dark wolf, represents things like anger, envy, fear, greed, resentment, arrogance, and evil. And the other wolf, the light wolf, represents things like kindness, joy, peace, hope, humility, compassion, truth, and goodness." So the child ponders for a moment, trying to understand, really take it in what his grandfather has told him. And after he's pondered it for a moment, he comes back to his grandfather with a question. He says, "Grandad, which wolf wins?" And the grandfather smiles and says, "My boy, the one that wins is the one you feed." So what's it getting at? Well, at its core, the idea is that attention is nourishment. So that which you repeatedly dwell upon is the thing that grows strongest. It's the stories you tell yourself, the habits you rehearse, and so on. But you always have some agency, not necessarily over which feelings appear, but over what you practice next. Rumination versus reflection, revenge versus boundaries, cynicism versus curiosity, and so on. Also, I think embedded in there is the idea that it's about cultivation rather than denial. A healthy reading isn't never feed the dark wolf. Instead, it's don't make it the diet. So when we think about this in a modern sense, we often throw in an extra caveat, right? We say something like both wolves matter, because the dark wolf can contain signals, hurt, threat, unmet needs, and so on. And the skill is listening to it without letting it drive. So in sort of more practical terms, feeding the dark wolf, the fear wolf, or whatever you want to call it, that's things like doom scrolling, replaying insults, fantasizing about payback, and confirmation bias content. Whereas feeding the light wolf, that's things like sleep, exercise, journaling, therapy, and so on and so forth. So remember, you're not trying to starve either wolf. Both need to be fed and managed.